Hi, I'm Nat and welcome to Sing with Nat. This is my second video. If this is the first one that you're watching, I would advise you go back and watch the first one, which is on breathing and posture, because before you start to do anything else, it's really important that you get those two techniques down. So you're welcome to skip any videos you like except for that one, because it's really important. So today I want to do a warm-up that's really useful just for starting to stretch your voice and building up your range. So it's good to do just before you start to sing. It's also good to do just as an exercise, just to differentiate singing and speaking, because when you sing you use a very different part of your voice to when you're talking. Obviously these videos are more geared towards classical singers. If you were a popular music singer, you might be using more of this, what we call a chest voice, but we'll go on to that later. So, just a couple of exercises just to stretch the voice. Like I say, it's a good idea to do all the breathing exercises first because they're really, really important. And then moving on to starting to exercise the actual voice itself. The thing I want you to do is to begin just with gently humming. You can hum at any pitch you like, so it could be a or anything you want. Probably best not to go too high or too low, and just kind of get used to the sound of humming. So if you just do it while I'm speaking now, because I'll start to try and get you to notice a few things about the way you sound. Like a hum sounds easy enough to do, like a but there's a big difference between what I call a closed down hum, where it feels tense at the front of your throat, and that just means that you're just closing down too much. So just try and feel and be very aware of the feelings within your throat right now and in your voice. When you hum, is it sounding like a because if it is, then you're creating tension here, which is not good. And what you need to do is try and relax this whole part of your throat and also the back of your mouth. So what you can do is just try and imagine the sensation of almost having like a orange at the back of your throat to try and create that kind of space. If you can imagine it, it's actually kind of like when you yawn. So if you just imagine yourself yawning, do you notice my voice goes a lot more open? And that's what you're looking for. So instead of a you do more of a and you might notice that has a lot more resonance, and it's a lot more, it carries a lot more. So it's far more relaxing on your voice. If you do a clamped down version, then you're far more likely to damage your voice. So now that you've got used to the sound of you humming, just take it up and then back down again, just randomly, and then maybe go a little bit further down and a little bit further up each time. So if I just demonstrate like a and just making sure that it's nice and open all the time. If you want to do like a silly voice, it does help, because that's kind of the difference between your singing voice and your speaking voice. And if you start off with your singing voice with a nice open throat, then you're going to carry a lot more to start off with, so that's always a good thing. So, moving on from that, why don't we try and do a couple of scales? So, if we start out from a middle C, so if you just try that now, and just make sure that you're doing a really nice slide between the notes and you're making a really smooth line. If you imagine it kind of like a trail of spaghetti just kind of going over in a nice arc, then that's kind of what you're after. You don't want to like you're climbing up a step ladder, because that's where the tension will start. Just always imagine everything you're singing. Imagine the phrase always moving forward. So and if the hand movements help you, then definitely do. The voice has an amazing ability of copying what you see and what you do, so it's quite a good idea to copy me while you see me doing this, but also in your own time, just remembering some of these movements, because this will also make you hold your body in the right position to sing. So let's try that one more time. And now the next one. And if you're starting to feel tense now for the next one, just make sure that you're keeping your throat nice and open, because all of the tension will come when this starts to close down. You can actually try putting your fingers here, just on your throat, either side of your windpipe, just really gently, and just see if you can feel them open. When you do a yawn, you'll feel them open. Try and keep them open all the time. It won't come overnight. This takes a lot of work, but again, the thing with muscles is that they don't want to do what you want them to do. But if you tell them enough times to do it, eventually they start to behave themselves. So about the note we were at. So that's probably enough for today. But definitely, if you can practice that alone, on your own, and just practice going up as high as you can go, and just see if you can stretch it a little bit each time. If you find that it's becoming difficult, just revisit the lesson one. Is my posture correct? Is my breathing correct? And also, if you can, is my throat nice and open? And through that, you'll start to really get a feel for where the problems might be, where you're starting to maybe get a little bit higher pitched and things are starting to get a bit tight. Just revisit those 3 principles, because even me 16 years later, I know that every time I have problems with my voice, it's probably one of those 3 things, and once I revisit them and troubleshoot, I find the problem and I can fix it. So I hope you found this useful. It's a really, really good warm-up technique, so I would definitely use it. It's great for if you're warming up quietly and you're about to sing, and it's a discreet way of warming up when you don't have much privacy, because no one really can hear anyone going. It's nice and quiet, but it is actually exercising your larynx in the way that it should be. So good luck, and until next time, happy singing.